The trip was supposed to start on May the 7th. I went down on May the 6th to help put the boats in and do what preparatory work we had to do. But he held a seminar to advise the people what to expect and what he was going to do, and just kind of familiarize them with what they could expect. He emphasized the danger. We would be 7 days without seeing anybody else. Once you left Mexican Hat, you were committed. Well, during this seminar, whatever it was, I asked Norm, I looked around and I says, "Where's Wright?" He says, "Oh, he isn't coming tonight. He won't be here. He isn't coming tonight." The next day, we started loading the boats and like that, and pretty soon I says, "Where's Mike, Norman?" "Gosh, he should be here any time now." We got boats all ready to push off. Norm, "Where the hell is Mike?" He said, "He isn't coming, you're going to take the boat." I said, "You're mistaken. I'm not going to take any passengers and take that responsibility." I was going to walk away, and I meant it. Then his wife caught me. Oh, if you ever had anyone put pressure on you, you should have seen that. She argued that if I didn't go, and I didn't know at the time, the trip would have to be called. We had 6 geologists going on a special trip. And she talked to me a half hour. And then she told me that the questions I had asked Norm the previous Sunday was things that he liked, that I could learn this. I finally went. 2 passengers. Each of the 3 boats had 2 passengers. Norm Neville's only once corrected me for my boating. You know, there's sand waves. You've heard there's sand waves. We were encountering them often, and he says, "If you will stay just outside of those sand waves, that's where the fastest water is. That's where you'll have to work the least." We got down to Government Rapid, and he had told how fierce it was. And so we got there. Well, among other things, Doris told me that Norm would run all the rapids for me. I have to worry about rapids. We got down to Government Rapid, and Norm took his boat through with some of the passengers, and some of the others walked down there so they could take pictures of the boats going through this rapid. And finally, I was left alone with my boat. That rapid looked pretty vicious to me, you know. And pretty soon, I looked down there, and there was Norman laughing and talking with his passengers, and he looked up and saw me, and his little hat, "Come on, come on." I turned around, looked that rapid, and it was 10 times as big. But he was down there to catch me, you know. So I got the boat and went down. In all the 2 years I run for him, he only run my boat through one rapid. This included through Grand Canyon, 2 different trips through Grand Canyon, 1 trip through Dwight to Green River, Utah, or Jensen. We took out of Jensen, that's right. That's the story of my introduction.
So, once again, it was on-the-job training.
Absolutely. In addition to boating all day, he learned that I could cook on it. That was my job.
Well, how many years did you run the river?
2.
2 years.
All the time he was alive. For Norman, I run 2 years Norman, then he got killed in the fall, he and his wife in their aeroplane.
Oh.
Then Jim Rigg and I bought the estate, and we run the rivers through 50 to 57. Jim Rigg stayed with me as a partner for 3 years. Then he was studying to be a doctor, and he sold me his interest in Mexican expeditions. Then for the rest of the time I was on the water. There's one interesting thing, laughable, about experience when I was working for Norm. Then I want to forget about river running. I think it was the latter part of May or the first part of June that he called on the phone in the shop and told me, he says, Frank, I won't need you this next trip, because all I've got is a little lady and a man and his boy. Okay, that's fine with me. I have plenty to do here in the shop. And the day before the trip was to start, he called me, SOS, SOS, you've got to go. I says, what's the matter? You've only got the little lady, the man, and his son, and that's a normal load, 3 people. What's the big deal? He says, you haven't seen this man and this boy yet. That's it. He says the man is probably in his late 70s or 80s, and he weighed over 200 pounds, and the boy was over 300 pounds. Oh, wow. I can't handle that load. You've got to help me. Well, I'll make this about as short as I can. That night, he issued them a sleeping bag, which the semi-mummy, where it zipped halfway up and the rest, no, it was solid and zipped the rest of the way up on a full-length air mattress. So the next morning, he come around to these men and he says, well, how'd you sleep last night? He says, well, we're big men. Those mummy bags are just a little bit tight, you know. And he said, they said, oh, don't worry. They're very good sports. Don't worry, we're having a good time, and this sleeping business is just secondary. The second morning, well, we slept a little bit there. The sleeping bags are still in the but the third morning, he asked them, and he said, well, we do all right. Don't worry about us. Norm says, well, let's just go take a look at those sleeping bags. He says, I have big men in those warm. They get along all right. So he went in, and when he saw what these men had done, he started laughing. These men had crawled in their sleeping bags after they had put their air mattresses inside the And after they had got in there, they zipped the bag up and then blew up their air mattresses.
No way.
Okay,
Story.
I could go in here for
So you ran,
2 or 3 hours about the trips.
Yeah.
you ran the river trip for about 18 years on your own? Did you own the business 18 years, or you ran it for about that long?
How long?
18
18. No,
years?
No, just from 50 to 57, and then I sold to my partner.
Then you sold to your partner? 50, 57, so.
57, and then 58, 59, and 60, I worked for the Museum of Modern Art.
But you were still running rivers with the museum?
Yes, with the museum there.
Well, I didn't realize you worked for them that long. They were taking quite a few trips.
3 summers. I got paid for 6 months. Whether I went on a trip or not, I got paid so much for the month. And I furnished I furnished the boat and the food. Or I furnished the boat and did the cooking. They furnished the food. And we did the archaeological salvage work.
Before the
dam.
dam went in. Yeah.
That was just previous to the dam. And then I thought I was over the river trips. And then Calvin Black came after me, and he says there are 4 different sites that have been designated as recreation sites, access to the lake, and there's not one in San Juan County. And 60% of the lake shore is in San Juan County, and we don't have access to that lake. And he kicked up such a stink that he went to senators like that about it, and they told him then, if you can get experienced men to help you, why we will consider this. So who'd they come to but me? I told Calvin. Then he finally, after 2 weeks of deliberation, I told him I would help him out on one condition, that in the name that we would have ferry service, because it's the only thing I was interested in. I hated, like everything, to see the water come up on my path.
Yeah.
Covered up. You can't imagine the beauty that was covered up with that water. I hated to see it. And that was one of the reasons I hated to go out there to see that, all that covered up. But I went anyway. There was 5 of us. Willard was one of them. Calvin Black and myself, and Russ Black, and a fellow named Terrell. There's 5 of us formed a partnership, and we all had my boating equipment that I put in as my share. Then we formed this lake ferry service
At Hall's Crossing.
at Hall's Crossing. And then we had ferry service for a while, just to handle jeeps first. Then we had to put this flotation to handle cars, and it finally got just too big for the traffic, or too small for the traffic. But then, I don't remember what year it was, I sold all my stock. We finally incorporated, and sold stock. And I don't remember what year it was when I sold all the stock and finally all the original owners sold their stock to a big company. We just sold out completely.
Huh, it's interesting. I just wanted to know how long you had your pilot's license.
I got it in October 1957, and I just let it expire.
So how,
I was active for about two or 3 years.
but you owned the airplane. Everybody sold.
The club started by buying an airplane on the club, and there were two people with the name of ushers. The woman's name, it was man and wife team. They were both instructors, but the woman did most of the instruction. You started me on something else.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
I was
But-
just curious because I'd always heard that you were a pilot, but I didn't know what year and how long.
It's 57. Dorothy has my logbook.
Oh,
So all the things that I tell you could be verified. And I took about 7 private lessons, you know. But Grandma, Nora, agreed to me to taking lessons, you know. It was all right. She said, I don't be down there when you solo. When you go up there alone.
yeah.
I don't want to see that. Well, this day we went down to get our lessons, you know, and there's 2 airplanes there and 2 instructors. What's all this about? I don't know. They didn't tell me what was going on. Pauline Usher took me up, regular takeoff, 3 takeoff and 3 landings, and I was the first one to go, and we made the 3 usual takeoff and landings, and then she got out of the airplane and buckled her seat across the seat. She said, all right, you take off and take another 3 landings and take off. So I didn't realize she was asking me to solo. I just took the airplane up there and went through the regular. And you know what? I think this is in the story too, and you may have read it. But while I was up there, or before I went up, they called Mom, and they said, we need some extra gasoline or something for her to bring down. We shut down there. She looked around and said, where's Frank? He's up there. Well, who's up there with him? Here's Polly. Oh, he's alone.
Oh, and she didn't want to be there, Nate.
She didn't want to be there.
That's amazing.
There's no problem.
Ah.
But I was the first one in blind to get a pilot's license.
So you went solo after 1 day of instruction?
7 hours.
7 hours. Wow.
And I felt comfortable. I never did feel uneasy about flying.
That's something I always do.
Okay.
And when it's about time, you did some. Now I never understood how you did this, but you did some prospecting for uranium from an airplane. How in the world did
Jim
you-
Rigg was the pilot, and I didn't do the piloting. I sit in that seat
Well, he must have been flying pretty low, wasn't he?
He was.
To get some
If
reading.
I hadn't known him, I would have been frightened. Because the vein, you know, run up these canyons, it just followed the contour around. And he'd fly up these canyons and it looked like he was going right into the wall, and up he'd come, make a big loop and come down and go down the other side. And I had to watch the instruments.
Oh,
Geiger count.
oh.
Geiger counter to tell when we picked up Rachel.
Did you ever pick some up?
Yeah, we had quite a claims.
Wow.
Whatever happened to the claims? Did you sell them or?
I had nothing to do with it. They were sold
Oh.
without my knowledge.
Do you know where they are?
They never did it much.
No.
One mine, there was a lot of ore went out there that I didn't know about.
Huh.
Well, that was interesting.
Well, what would bring us up to the end?
I think that's enough.
Hmm.
We've been
Okay.
at this,
Yeah.
what, a half hour?
Yeah. And so today is 26th today? 27th.
I have the 28th.
28th of October, 1994. That's
That's
great.
right. Well, thank you. You've been very patient
Yeah.
with us.
And this is a great asset for grandkids and generations to come. They'll enjoy this. There are a lot you talked about, but you know, cutting stones and CC camp and teaching electronics and cutting hair there. I never remember that. Going to Vail and summer there. Lots of things that you've done in your lifetime. So amazing. All I did was work in the fire department. I didn't have too many experiences.
Well, it's been interesting. I don't know whether I could live I have or not without variety.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be on assembly.
Oh, I would too.
Just
Doing the same
back
thing.
and forth, back and forth. I see these poor men day after day take a lunch box.
I've seen some pictures. Henry Ford, you know, when he had this production line, and he developed this where the cars would travel on the things, and they have to work. And when they first started, these guys were just almost keeling over because they having a hard time keeping up with the production. Now it didn't work fast enough. Boy, that would be terrible. I'd hate to do something like that.
Well, Dad, someday we're going to do yours. And
Do mine? Well,
Yeah.
mine will only take about 10
no,
minutes.
you've done a lot. I think you've inherited a lot from Grandpa.
Yeah, I sure enjoyed Grandpa's
Well, thanks.
example.
We'll end it right.